Hello from the Catalan capital and one of...
Saturday at El Camp Nou. They have in possession, they put in Levante under pressure from the first minute, and they know how important this game is.
They have struggled at times on their visits to the Ciutat de Valencia. They do have some good memories here. They even won a couple of titles at this ground as this ball comes loose. Frankie de Jong has it, he'll cut it back, and it's there for the taking. It's saved by Fernandez.
Well, it's the second chance in 4 minutes for Pedri, but what a run from de Jong once again. You know, those runs are deadly because they're so difficult to defend. As a centre-back, you're not expecting it. As a midfielder, you can't really track back. So it's undetected, and another great chance for Barca.
Oh, Pedri finding the space once again, and Frankie de Jong showing all facets of his game. Skill on the ball, holds it up, brings it back to Pedri, and that is Aitor Fernandez getting across. He's back into the starting lineup today, the Levante goalkeeper. The youngster Cardenas has been playing frequently as of late. He just denies Pedri his second attempt. 5 minutes.
He just wants to place it. Obviously, sometimes he needs to understand that ugly goals count as well. Duncan. I remember at Mestalla when he tried to put it into the top corner after a great build-up, one-touch football from Barca.
He hasn't scored in the league since November. He's had 2 good chances to do so here tonight, and there's another good chance for Barca. Araujo is standing over it, but Leo Messi, of course, is the candidate. The big question is, where is Messi going to put it? There's a player down behind the wall in case he tried to put it underneath, and that was his intention. He's back off the barrier. All Barca so far. Levante have barely been out of their own half.
The positive with Pedri areas, Duncan, and obviously goals will come because he's got so much quality that once he scores a few and he relaxes a little bit, we will see.
His teammates certainly have confidence to set him up. Antoine Griezmann tries the turn here. Teammates will give him opportunity after opportunity because there is so much trust in a player who's formed such a great partnership, for example, with Leo Messi going forward.
Yeah, the understanding between Messi and Pedri is unbelievable. You can see it straight away from pre-season. I remember a game they played at the Jordi Cruyff Stadium, and Messi, trusted the youngster from day one. We've seen it week in, week out in La Liga Santander.
Welcome. Plays to his fellow Frenchman, Griezmann, who just dropped back to look for it. Pedri's switched over to the left-hand side. Jordi Alba will play this one. It's come to Gerard Piqué. Everybody getting a touch for Barca. They are not allowing Levante a look in. They've already carved out 7 penalties. Here's Dembélé. Goes just behind Messi, and this will be dangerous, especially with the ball at the feet of Morales. One of the older players in the Levante squad is still.
Yeah, when Morales opens his legs up, is unstoppable. De Frutos as well. Probably one of the quickest players in the competition. Where he had a slow start, as Levante did as well, but once he hit the ground running, it's been absolutely sensational.
Well, this will be chased after by Jose Luis Morales. He'll take on Lenglet. It's trying for that nutmeg, but Lenglet will sweep it up. Levante have been somewhat misfiring as of late. Those 2 goals for Morales at the weekend, ending a drought. They haven't scored since the 18th of April in a 5-1 Real. Gone 3 games without a goal. Those included 3 losses in Sevilla, Elche and Celta Vigo. Threatening to undo some good work from Levante. They've been comfortably mid-table, just dropped slowly down the contention for the European places with this recent dip in.
I think they're underachievers, Duncan, because they've got enough quality to challenge for something bigger than just survival.
Once flicked up, it's no problem for Marc-Andre ter Stegen. It will be collected by Roger Marti. Getting down the line, Minimum will cross that in. Nobody can reach it. Well, perhaps a surprise today in the midfield, the absence for Levante of Malsa. Adds a bit of strength there, and this ball falls loose. It's Jordi Alba who heads it clear. First wave of attacks for Levante now. Here's Miramon with the ball in. Good header away by Ronald Araujo.
The thing is, Barca sometimes they mark man-to-man. So there was an instance where Lenglet followed Morales, so it ended up being on the right. Piqué was following Roger Marti, and then Araujo was the left centre-back, let's say. We see how Barca are defending. Dembélé is joining as a fifth defender, being the wing-back. So he is Barcelona's wing-back without the ball. And obviously when Barca has it, they want it.
Fernandes has already made a save from Pedri. To slows things down. He's played the ball to Ruben Verso. Back into the starting lineup today, the Portuguese who scored against Barca last season. In the game at the Camp Nou, it was Ansu Fati who scored twice in the space of 2 minutes, just past the half-hour mark. Victory earlier on this season. The game ended with a Barca victory, 1-0. The result at the Camp Nou.
First 5 minutes were all Barca. Now in the last couple of minutes we've seen a reaction from Levante where they've been enjoying a long spell of possession. They've been putting crosses in.
And Ronald Koeman's side had the opportunity to go top when they hosted Granada. They lost that game, falling to a surprise 2-1 defeat. They had the chance to make amends against Atletico Madrid at the weekend. It didn't quite work out. The top four drawing amongst themselves, sharing out a point apiece.
I had the feeling, Duncan, they were never in control against Atletico Madrid. Of course, Barca had chances to win it, but in the first half, I thought Atletico, were controlling the game better and were creating chances and problems to Barca. We all remember the header from Dembélé. Could have been, but not many clear opportunities. A solo run from Leo Messi was sensational, getting past 7 Atletico Madrid players, and a good save from Oblak. But other than that, we didn't see a dominant performance from Barca.
Well, with that, Barcelona's opportunity to have their fate in their own hands goes away. Had they beaten Atletico Madrid, they would have gone top of the table. They remain 2 points behind the La Liga Santander leaders. And they are level with Real Madrid, who have the same number of points, 75, but are in second spot due to the superior head-to-head record that could come into play in the final 3 matches of the season. Well, we'll come back to Barca now. It's Gerard Piqué. It's been a long season for Gerard Piqué, including that injury that he recovered from in record time. Gave an opportunity for Araujo to come in. He's held on to the spot and has impressed when featured. Here is Piqué.
He took a huge gamble not having surgery in his knee. Obviously, when he came back, he wasn't fully fit, but now he looks back at his best.
Came back for that important Champions League game that Barcelona would end up being eliminated from against Paris Saint-Germain. And Piqué always with that desire to play. Here he is on the ball. He's the kind of player who will want to pull Barca up by the bootstrap. Couple of passes. Barca here, put down the line, just some miscommunication there between Frankie de Jong and Ousmane Dembélé. But we're seeing a discipline showing so far from Dembélé. He's sticking on that right-hand side, hasn't come in to the centre too much.
No, obviously there's clear instructions from this man, Ronald Koeman. At times Barca, they have been missing that width that Dembélé is giving them today, and I think that that is a perfect outlet when they're in possession, in order to stretch a Levante side who when they don't have the ball, they look solid. They narrow up lines and they don't concede many spaces to Barca. So to have a player with the quality and pace of Dembélé out wide is always a good option to have. And clear instructions from Ronald Koeman there.
All thrown in by Levante. One since Eibar at Iparua on April 10th. 4 straight defeats followed there. In theory, it's a good time for Barca to play them. Busquets, who plays back, he's the man in the mask tonight. Due to that knock he took against Atletico Madrid.
It was a very unfortunate challenge with Savic. And he tried to carry, but obviously he wasn't feeling right, he felt dizzy.
It's one of those carbon fibre masks that are all the rage to help with such injuries. Deemed necessary to play tonight, Sergio Busquets. Here he is on the ball. Lenglet just miscontrols, but Alba will sweep it up. Dembélé just showed too much of that to Tonio Garcia, who comes back into the starting lineup today. Didn't play at all against Alaves at the weekend. Several rotations made. You can see Paco Lopez was trying to keep his team fresh for this big challenge against Barca. The likes of Roger Martí didn't start. He went with up top in that game. Dani Gomez and Cantero both in the starting lineup. And just had the 2 goals between them in La Liga Santander.
Cantero made his debut away against Celta Vigo, and he was impressive. He's got good power, good physique, and decent quality as well. And Paco Lopez does rotate the fullbacks. He does it constantly. Clerc, he's been mainly playing for them down the left because he's been excellent, but he's not afraid of changing the fullbacks. As we see here, the pressure from Barca wasn't good enough. Look at the space Morales has to turn and run into space.
Morales is able to play that to Miramon, and he looks for a return ball. PK was wary to it. Crossed in, Marc-Andre ter Stegen leaves it to go into the side netting. Just getting slightly more Levante now. They were really pegged back in the opening 5 minutes. One thing Barca will have to watch out for is the counter-attacks, especially when they have so many players committed forward.
And when they make that first pressure, Duncan, if it's not the right one, Levante, they're not afraid of taking risks and getting out of that pressure through combinations. And when they find those players in the pockets, like we saw there with Morales, then it becomes really dangerous.
It will be Enis Bardi, the set-piece specialist, who sends the ball in. Everybody in the box, picked up by Morales. He's got a shot on from there and strikes it over. Well, you can't rule anything out with Morales. He only seems to score spectacular goals. A volley at the weekend as was another nice finish. That one off target though.
He does score worthies, and being right-footed, he scored a fantastic volley with his left foot against Real Madrid last season, beating Courtois into his near post. Ball went into the top corner, so you gotta be careful and close to El Comandante.
Oh, we might have to be careful here. Ronaldo Araujo has just pulled up with a grimace. Sergio Roberto warming up. Well, Araujo has also suffered some misfortune with injuries this season.
And if I'm not wrong, it was the left ankle, wasn't it? And he was just touching it. So hopefully it's not too serious and he can carry on.
Sergio Roberto has been sent out to warm up just in case as Levante press up high. It's really an opportunity for Barca to get behind them. Courtesy of those quick passes. Dembélé breaks into a sprint. The ball is up towards him, but he got caught up with Tonio and Robert Pierre.
First build-up was just a masterclass from Barcelona. The positioning of Piqué joining that midfield, first touch into Sergio Busquets, and then Griezmann on the half turn. Unlucky that the pass from De Jong was a heavy one.
All that with Levante having 3 players inside the Barca penalty area. Just allow Barca a little bit of space to get forward. There are no slouches on the counter-attack either. Throw in here will be taken by Miramon. We're coming up to 20 minutes gone. It's still Levante 0, Barcelona 0. Must-win game for the Blaugrana. Victory would take them top of the table, at least overnight. Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid on Thursday. Here's another look at the corner that came in. Well, it doesn't look to be too much in that for Araujo. It wasn't a leap and a slightly askew.
You could see his face, though, that he wasn't happy with something.
We'll try and run this off for the time being. But there could be the temptation for Ronald Koeman to bring on Sergio Roberto in his first substitution. Mina Che from Barca. Manu Dembele playing slightly higher up, and Sergio Roberto just slotting into a more regular role. This has come to Marc-Andre ter Stegen. And whilst the strikers weren't the star of the show against Atletico Madrid, it was certainly a display of the top goalkeeping talent at the top of the table. Jan Oblak and Marc-Andre ter Stegen amongst the very best in Spain's top tier. Attempted so far, Frankie de Jong was an early standout for Barca.
That was the wrong ball from Miramon, but the movement from Morales in between centre-backs, Piqué, Lenglet had lost him, so had he received a good pass from the right-back, I mean, you know, dangerous for Barca. They need to make sure they get closer to El Comandante.
Come on, flicked over the top, looking for De Frutos. They have to be wary of De Frutos' crosses in. He's provided several assists this season of real quality. Levante have finished 15th, 15th and 12th in their last 3 campaigns. Despite a poor run of form in recent weeks, it has been a solid season for them. And they do tend to turn things up when Barca come visiting. Dembele slips up here. It's an opportunity for Levante. Cut back.
Well,
and that was a gift. Dembele, and then from the Levante attack, they made the wrong choice there with the pass. And Piqué will be very grateful indeed that he was able to get that away.
I think that with Clerc on the pitch, it would have been a different story. First, you can see why Dembele is not a wing-back or a right-back. He can't really do that, obviously he slips. And then Toño goes for the cutback when Roger was completely unmarked in the box. I think Barca have been graced there by Levante's fullback.
Only 2 mistakes, even themselves. And Barca survive a scare. That being said, they are the only of the 2 sides to have tested the opposition goalkeeper. That Pedri strike saved by Aitor Fernandez just 7 minutes in. Here's Lenglet. Jordi Alba's made a run, pulls the defender away, and that allows Pedri to win it from deep. Short back to Piqué. Roger Marti to come forward. Dembele, this is where he does his best work. Takes on Toño Garcia. Ball back to Pedri. Levante now seem aware of the danger Pedri poses. Could be set up for a shot. Here is Lenglet, who stings the hands of the goalkeeper with a low drive.
Well, why not? You know, he's got a good left foot. I can't remember a goal off Lenglet from outside the box, but you know, he was given the space. He tried his luck. The movement from Griezmann took the centre back away from Lenglet, and he tested the goalkeeper. So
all part of the mental game. Now the defence will come out to look for Lenglet, knowing that he's got a shot from that kind of distance. Here's Jordi Alba. Given away there. He's playing just behind Busquets. It will be Morales who strides his way through. Lenglet couldn't hold him back. Piqué manages to put the roadblock in place.
Good defending there from Piqué. Well, obviously sloppy pass from Jordi Alba there.
It's where Levante are perhaps at their most dangerous on those counter-attacks, making the sprint through the middle especially. Here's Miramon, early cross in from him. Cleared by Piqué. Improvisation there from Busquets. Barca hang on to the ball. We've seen Antoine Griezmann playing a little bit deeper and a little bit further over to the left in recent minutes.
He does want to, get a bit of contact with the ball, as he hadn't been touching too many and he wants to be involved in it. And obviously it's a good idea to have him in central positions, to leave the whole left-hand side to Alba, and his runs, we know often finds him, and then you need someone in the box, and Griezmann is your man.
Well, we haven't seen too much of Leo Messi last far. When that happens, he tends to drop slightly deeper to look for the ball. Back into the defence rather riskily, collected by Busquets. Pedri tries to help it. Will be a sprint forward from Enes Bardi. There's De Frutos, in fact, who gets it, trying to look for Roger Martí, taps it heavily. Marc-André ter Stegen can gratefully claim that, but it's just another warning provided by Levante that they can hit on the break.
They do, and it was De Frutos who was, driving the ball up with, stumbling at times, and the pass from Roger Martí wasn't a good one, but, some technical errors from the Levante players, but it's not always going to be the same case, so Barca need to be focused and careful. They're giving the ball away too easily at times.
Griezmann plays this into Piqué in space. Just about halfway through the first half. Still no change in the scoreline. It looks as if Barcelona were going to get goals the way they sprinted out of the blocks. This one's come for a volley. It finds its way in. There's the goal. Else but Leo Messi. 25 minutes in, and Leo Messi with his first shot on target finds the net. Establish the advantage. They are temporarily top of the Messi is closing in on 30 league goals for the season.
Well, and who else but Jordi Alba with the assist as well. Griezmann was pinning centre-backs through the middle. Obviously, he made the movement. Messi was completely unmarked. You got Melero with him. When Melero turns, well, Messi's gone. And there you go. What at the finish? Look at the finish. There's a deflection from Miramon. The ball wasn't intended, to reach Leo Messi, but the connection is so heavy that eventually gets there. And this is a fantastic volley. Bottom corner. There's no way Aitor Fernandez can save that.
Messi keeps it down. It could have gone just about anywhere. The way he got underneath the ball. It bounces in. Barca make it 1-0. Just when Levante were causing some problems, Barcelona get the goal. It comes at just the right time as well. Halfway through the first half, Leo Messi with goal number 29 of the La Liga Santander season.
Great news for Barcelona. You said it at the right time when they needed it, but obviously Levante are a team that they don't really suffer those type of setbacks, so they need to keep going. They need to score the second and keep the game.
Well, Barca had come out all guns blazing in the opening 5 minutes. It's dipped off slightly. It was just a reminder with the Clement Lenglet shot. And Leo Messi finding the ball in space, off a deflection. Scoring on the volley. This is Griezmann. Keen not to go down a dead end. Holds on to the ball, plays it towards Leo Messi, who's burst into life now. Haven't seen much in the last couple of minutes from this man, Ronald Araujo, but that could perhaps mean that he is okay to continue. Chipped over the top. Jordi Alba will try and hit this on the volley. Well, when it comes to volleys, he scored a few from that kind of distance. Just Messi looks for him. A scoop ball, and you called it, Andre. Makes the run completely unmarked.
I think Miramon is looking at Griezmann. Griezmann is just moving inside. I don't think Alba was telling Griezmann what was going to happen next. But anyway, the pass from Messi, you could see that he was going to find him. And why not? He tried the volley. And close from scoring the second goal of the game for Barca.
Well, Leo Messi does owe him a few assists. He's been one of the more frequent providers of assists for the greatest player in the world. He's on the ball now. Sublime skill from Messi. It's nicely left there by Griezmann for Dembélé. Dembélé is spoilt for choice in terms of options in the middle. come to Messi. Messi keeps on going, tries to put it around Naito Fernandez. And this time, it goes outside the right stick.
I'm sure he's disappointed with himself because the turn is great, pass from Busquets, he gets past Melero, he gets past Robert Pierre, so he sets himself up perfectly, and then he doesn't hit it well enough.
Also sets up the goalkeeper well, expecting maybe the shot to the bottom left, and Messi trying to tuck it inside that right post. Barca turning on the style in the last couple of minutes. Miramon has waited for the ball here. It's going to be Vezzo who's eyeing up the pass. Tries to play a more conservative ball back. Collected here by Levante. Barca lead players up towards the halfway line. Levante have struggled for consistency at home. They've won 5 at the Ciutat Valencia, but drawn 7 and lost 5 of 17 fixtures here. That one given away by Sergio Busquets, not for the first time tonight. His passing has been slightly wayward. Collected here by De Frutos. Kept up here. See a crossing coming from Levante. From the left-hand side, Busquets again gives the ball away. There's a fake and a drive, and Marc-Andre ter Stegen saves it in installments.
Well, great piece of skill of Enis Bardi there. A good chance for Levante. A good save from ter Stegen. The worrying thing, I was looking at Roger Martin in the box, and Lenglet had completely lost him.
There was Enis Bardi turning Araujo, who perhaps wasn't too trusting of his ankle, bearing in mind that knock he took.
I think it's a great piece of skill from Enis Bardi. The ball goes through the legs of Busquets as well, so it's a good save from Marc-Andre ter Stegen. But it all started with a loose ball from Sergi Busquets, and as you said, it's not the first time that's happened in the first 30 minutes of the game.
Far be it for us to make excuses for Busquets. You might wonder just how much that face mask is impeding his vision as well. It's got his cheeks poked up high.
He's got eyes at the back of his neck, Duncan, so I don't think it's a problem.
But he has had a couple of balls played away from him that he has lost, a couple in quick succession.
Well, I'm sure he's not comfortable. I broke my nose twice and had to play with a mask, and it wasn't the best thing to do, to be honest.
Here's Dembélé on the right-hand side. Frenkie de Jong is the furthest player forward. Doesn't break into a sprint just yet as Griezmann again leaves the ball. This time it's for Messi. Messi's strike actually goes into that crowd of bodies in the middle. It's a Barca corner, one of the first we've seen in this game.
I think he hit de Jong, no? No, he hits Robert Pierre first and then de Jong.
And it does strike Robert Pierre on the elbow. De Jong was being grasped back by Robert Pierre, a player who gave away a penalty at the weekend. And that was tucked away by Jose Lu and denied Levante a victory. First in over a month. Messi plays the corner short. Jordi Alba and Dembélé switched temporarily over to the left-hand side. Space here for Pedri to try and get the bodies back out of the box. Some players waiting on the edge of the penalty area. Marc-Andre ter Stegen gets involved. Messi says he doesn't want it. He'll have it now, though. He's played over looking for Messi. Miramon had to track him. Further forward now, and that's where we like to see him. He is a useful player to come looking for the ball in the midfield, but he does his best work, of course, on the edge of the penalty area.
Of course. In those areas, so that's why you wanna have him closer to the opposite goal. He activated himself after 20 minutes. Leo Messi.
He had been quiet beforehand, bar a couple of runs and that free kick that he sent into the wall. need that kind of bringing the ball out from the midfield to the likes of De Jong, who have the pace and maybe aren't so clinical going forward inside the opposition penalty area. When you've got the talent of Leo Messi.
Look at the pace from Dembélé.
Well, Dembélé breaks into a sprint here. He's into the box. Dembélé gets past his man. He tucks this one back, and this time around, it's turned in by Pedri. It was all about Dembélé, but Pedri will take that. Once again, they look to square it in the centre, but the pace of Dembélé was something else. That might be one of the fastest sprints we've seen from Ousmane Dembélé this season, and it had a little bit of skill at the end as well. The man who followed him into the area.
Well, skill and strength as well, because he had held, of the defender. As soon as he got the ball back, gave it to Messi, you could see him sprinting. I think it's the Frutos. The Frutos is quick as well, but he can't cope with him. Duarte trying to stop him, so he shows strength. Dembélé, quality and awareness. Look at him.
The pass is Ruben Betso as well.
It's sensational, fantastic. From Ousmane Dembélé, great transition. Second goal of the game. Brilliant.
Well, 2-0 to Barca. The goal comes just 10 minutes after their first. It's Pedri, who'd had a couple of shots in the early going, who gets his goal. His first since last November in La Liga Santander, set up by Dembélé, and it was selfless as well from Dembélé. So many other players, having made such a great run, would have tried to go for goal himself. Dembélé with that in touch, saw his teammate in space, did the job to get the pass.
And Pedri needed that, Duncan. It looked tired in recent weeks. Obviously, he's had a tremendous season, played so many games and minutes. But tonight he was at it from the start. He had two opportunities. The third one, he scored a very important goal, not only for Barca, but for himself as well and for his confidence.
Here comes a corner in from Morales. There's a little bit of height in this Levante side. Ter Stegen goes for the ball. Martinez is not the tallest of players, though. For him. Driven down a dead end by Clement Lenglet and wins another corner, this time on the near side.
Ter Stegen hesitated there.
Here's a look at the Roger Marti, just charged his way into Antoine Griezmann.
Looks like a foul to me.
It's given as a corner, and there's no option for Erenis Bardi. Will seemingly go long. This could be one of those where Levante players come searching. There it is. Frutos trying to send one in. Another corner here as Barca withstand the pressure. Bardi has several options to choose from. Looks like he's going long this time around. Once again he tucks it back. Once again Dembélé goes to get in the way of any cross. It's taken away again by Jordi Alba, who runs it out. We've seen 4 corners in quick succession for Levante.
And they want to take it short. I see Griezmann marking Roger Marti.
See Robert in front of Ter Stegen. The referee has had his attention jostling inside the area.
Well, we know what happened at Mestalla with Gabriel Paulista's goal, so I think that Robert is trying to do the same with Ter Stegen there.
It evades just about everybody, and this is what Levante will be fearing, a fast Barcelona break. It's punted high in no-nonsense fashion. Levante leave players forward. That would have been a great opportunity for Barca had Jordi Alba been able to get away. Barca attack down the right. De Jong. Griezmann plays to Busquets. This time around, Busquets keeps hold of the ball. From Messi as Barca edge closer to the opposition penalty area. Dembélé De Jong tries a ball in. That will go out for a Barca corner. Only their second of this contest. The first one played short by Messi on the left. Here's another look at an appeal for handball. It would have been a harsh one against Dembélé.
I think the arm is close to Dembélé's body, trying to protect himself.
So we approach the final 5 minutes of the first half. Barca 2-0 to the good. Find its way in. The header was by the high-rising Ronald Araujo.
Well, not the first time Araujo gets at the end of a Leo Messi's corner. You see Aitor Fernandez, he tries to come off his line. The ball gets whipped with pace, so it was very difficult for the goalkeeper. And Araujo showing his power there, but obviously couldn't get the best of connections.
Playing over the top, looking for Roger Martí as Levante get slightly desperate.
Especially Malsa warming up for Levante.
Malsa is one of the players that Pedri had highlighted before this game as someone who he really admired in the Levante squad. He played against him when he was at Las Palmas and Malsa was at Mirandés last season. He's a strong player in the midfield. Somewhat surprising not to see him play today with the kind of muscle that Levante might need in the middle.
Malsa was playing in Holland for Fortuna Sittard, where they didn't want him. Mirandés signed him the last day of the summer transfer window.
This ball comes through, it will be grabbed by Fernandez.
And what a season he had for Mirandés. There was a queue of teams in La Liga wanted to sign him, and eventually Levante.
He's left on the bench today, but he's one of several options to come on for Barca in the second half. They could turn to the likes of Mingueza, Arnau Tenas, Serginho Dest, who's been rotated out. Martin Brathwaite, Junior Firpo, Sergio Roberto was warming up just in case Araujo was unable to continue. Reich, Pjanic, Ricky Puig, Umtiti, Neto and Trincao. Comes to the edge of the area. Barca will have to watch out here. Griezmann, who scrambled this away. Dembélé, the architect of that second goal for Barca. Certainly did make amends for that mistake he'd previously made at the back when he lost the ball. Quite sublime run and assist. Been too many fouls committed, which might come as a concern to Paco Lopez. It's meant that his players haven't been able to hold back the Barca players as they go forward.
Koeman's looking back at something that he didn't like from his players. But interesting the way Barca's playing. You can see the three centre-backs. Araujo playing more like a right-back in possession. You see Dembélé high and wide on the right, and Jordi Alba being the wing-back on the left. Obviously, Griezmann playing more as a centre-forward, and Messi with the freedom to roam everywhere, as he normally does. Very difficult to defend against a team like this.
Is inside to Clement Lenglet. There's a look for the ball from Jordi Alba. It's come to Pedri, though, in the centre. Frankie de Jong was attempting to set up Antoine Griezmann. Griezmann has been doing very well in the first half. Has been not his touches, just letting the ball run through and offering up an option for another pass. They've been scarcely reaching him, though.
Movement, always an option for his teammates. Linking up, dropping deep when they need him to. And runs in behind, because those runs are so important to stretch teams. Levante are not, that type of team that sits deep and defend for the whole 90 minutes. They leave you spaces, and we've seen that in the first 45 minutes. But obviously, when Barca are playing in the opposite half, you need players, the pro players, to move and create the unselfish runs from De Jong, we've seen in the first half, and Griezmann create those sort of spaces for the other players.
Levante go forward again. Barca have everybody back. Clement Lenglet is just the Frutos here. He showed for a pass. Jean Piqué keeps goal side of Roger Martí as Ousmane Dembélé intercepts. This one works out well for Frankie de Jong. He did lose it in the end, and it's Barry got the challenge in. Barca will be happy so far with their showing in the first half. It's been a much improved performance. And they will, of course, be happy with the scoreline so far, something to build on in the second half. Ter Stegen has barely been tested. Morales tries to turn on Araujo.
Araujo looks fine. You know, his turn, the way he's turning and twisting, looks all right.
Away wins the ball back there, just to illustrate it. A strong winning back of possession. Here's Dembélé again. Dembélé might have just taken this one too far. Could maybe have played slightly earlier behind to Messi, who was bringing up the rear. Has to have another corner on the stroke of half-time. We won't have seemingly any stoppage time added on. And this could be the last chance of the first half.
Yeah, I don't think so, Duncan. Dembélé gives you this option. Those quick transitions into attack, usually having a player of his pace, gives Barca an extra dimension.
They play another short corner. It's come to De Jong. Can they get another cross in? They can. Takes a deflection. Nearly finds its way in. Busquets was ready to nod it home. Another close call from Barcelona.
It looks offside. The VAR would have had a look at it.
It's a glancing header just from the top of Busquets' head, and it's the last touch of the first half. Barcelona currently lead the way going into half-time at the Ciutat de Valencia. A 2 advantage. A Pedri goal has added to the goal from that man. Leo Messi is 29th of the season. Second half coming up at Valencia. At the moment, though, Barca large and in charge.